Today we're gonna be ranking rock bands from last century.
Last century.
Some that still rock on today.
And some that have sadly moved on with their lives.
Okay, which one do you want to start with?
Let's start with. Let's do. Wow. We could do Queen first.
We're gonna start with Queen. Okay.
Okay, Queen.
Queen. I think.
What about Queen?
Because Queen. Okay. Great band. Freddie Mercury, Brian May, Roger Taylor. Oh my God, I can't. John Deacon. There it is. Okay.
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, Freddie. Everyone's golden boy. Yeah, they have a lot of great songs. They have songs that are still played today, like "We Will Rock You," "We're the Champions." People still play those all the time. Sporting events, parties, just when you wanna, I guess. Like Bohemian Rhapsody, everyone knows that song. It starts, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I love that song. It's great."
Everybody sings it.
You gotta try the voices. If you don't, you're not singing it right.
Ooh, didn't mean to make you cry. So where are we putting it?
I think S tier, just because the
tier.
impact and everything on people. There we go.
Good enough. Okay, next let's do.
I don't know.
Let's do Bon Jovi.
Okay, Bon Jovi. Again, another great band. They have ones like their whole "Slippery When Wet" album. Just probably I think their best album.
Shot through the heart and you're too.
And living on a living on a prayer.
Living on a player.
Yeah. Runaway off a different album was good. Wanted Dead or Alive. Your Love Is Like Bad Medicine. That one's good. Your love is like bad
You give love a bad
medicine.
name.
Yeah.
A lot of songs about love.
They have a lot of love songs. I think
Some are,
they will give them A tier. I just don't think that they're as good as Queen,
but
they're
they're
still
up there.
really good.
They're on the list, just not as popular.
People won't be like, "Oh, that's Bon Jovi," but everyone still knows the songs.
So let's do the Beatles.
Oh, Beatles. I think immediate S tier.
We're not
We're not even gonna discuss that. Beatles immediate S tier. They started they just picked off where Elvis left off, and they brought rock and roll to everyone else.
Picked
up where Elvis left off. The idea got across, Okay, next.
No, it's actually changing color.
Oh, that's cool. All right. Which one do you want to do next?
Let's do. Let's get it out of the way. Let's do Kiss.
Okay.
I'm scared.
Kiss. My friend. All right, that's Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, Peter Criss, Ace Frehley, and a few other guys that they brought in to like replace Peter Criss and Ace Frehley after they wanted to leave, and then they came back. I think both of the guys that came in to replace them, I think they died. One of them died of an overdose, and I think the other one died of like a car crash.
I mean, as most musicians go, they die from an overdose. Is this just a musician thing?
Yeah, and like when they were being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they didn't play anything, no songs, nothing. They just accepted the award.
They're like,
gave a little speech and left because they were a little
pulled up, grabbed the award, left.
They were kind of pissed because their comrades that had died weren't inducted with them, which is that's a righteous thing to be mad about. So what do you think? You can give them S tier, A tier?
In my personal opinion, I'm not the hugest fan of Kiss, like you.
Oh,
So
Kiss it's hard.
No offense, so you're gonna be biased.
Oh, of course.
But I'm gonna put them in A.
I mean, they had some like great ones like I Was Made for Loving You, Detroit Rock City, Love Gun,
Rock and roll.
Yeah, Heaven's on Fire. A lot of really good songs. Where, like you hear them and like, oh yeah, that's Kiss.
We're gonna talk about probably one of the most over and underrated rock bands of all time, AC/DC.
I mean, yeah, like everyone knows AC/DC. If you like music, you know AC/DC. Everyone's got like an AC/DC
Let me
shirt.
be more specific. If you like rock music, you have to know who AC/DC
Yeah,
is.
even if you don't listen to them, you know who they are.
Yeah.
Like you see people wandering like the halls of your school, or like when you like go to like the supermarket or something, you see them with like an AC/DC shirt.
I'm at the point to where they, like, people that don't know it, I will go up to those people. I'm like, hey, 4 songs, go. And a lot of the time they're like, I don't know.
Like the extent is like they know Back in Black and that's it.
Because that's the shirt they're wearing.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them 8 tier just because like everyone knows them even if they don't like them.
Yeah.
All right, next. We're hoping to avoid F tier.
Yeah. Let's do Dio.
Okay, because like Dio is like they're a spin-off of Black Sabbath. Ronnie James Dio, he was with Black Sabbath, and then he's like, I'm out. And Ozzy was also like, I'm out. So they started doing their own things, both of them. I think Dio had a more successful like grabbing like a band and going doing stuff than Ozzy. He just kind of grabbed a guitarist and left. Like he had a great solo career.
You, come here. Let's go.
I mean, yeah. I think I'll give them B tier, just because like people know more Black Sabbath than Dio, but Dio still has like some really good songs, Holy Diver, and like Rainbow in the Dark. That's a good one. And here comes Black Sabbath. I would like to give them B tier or A tier. They're not like, oh, the Beatles or Queen or
They're not like the biggest rock.
They're
They're
not,
good.
They're good, but they're not
pretty
like
good.
massive.
And they're slowly dying down. I feel like.
Yeah, and like
Not slowly. I feel like nowadays, like they're kind of.
they're like kind of easing the pain.
Yeah. It's like what the Beatles were when, like, Shawn Mendes came out. It's like, oh, it's like, oh yeah, the Beatles. Yeah, I've heard of them.
What have you heard, Shawn Mendes?
Shawn Mendes starts playing.
Yeah, I vaguely know who Shawn Mendes is.
Yeah, we'll do B.
B tier.
Okay, let's do Journey.
Oh, Journey is S tier. That is S tier. Because like you hear Steve Perry's voice and you're like, that's Journey. That's great. That's amazing. Like they have really like pump up songs. Their love songs hit hard.
Their songs are everywhere. I feel like almost every movie I've watched, I've heard at least one of their songs. Almost every.
Stop believing.
Trying to think of movies that have. It's like Yes Man has one of them. It plays in the intro and like the middle of the movie. Stranger Things uses a remix of Separate Ways.
Oh my god, bro! Stranger Things. They use like really good songs to just like.
They use all their music. That's the whole reason Master Puppets got so popular again. Because of Stranger Things came out, and every time I played that song, like, oh, Stranger Things, I'm like,
Metallica, but Stranger Things.
I will fight you.
I mean, I'm not much of a Metallica fan, but like, I'm still a little mad that they got popped up by,
Metallica's good, but I feel like sometimes they can be overrated.
Yeah. But they're not on this list, so we're not going to talk about them much.
Leonard Skinner?
Oh, yeah, we'll do Leonard Skinner. Leonard Skinner is one of those bands where it's like, they have like a few really good songs. People are like, oh yeah, Sweet Home Alabama, let's go.
Freebird.
Freebird, woo. But like, outside of like those like really big songs, no one really knows like other songs that they did.
Yeah. Fair.
So I think we'll give them C tier.
C, really? We're going that
Well, yeah,
low.
because like Black Sabbath and Dio, they have like more than just like 3 really big songs, you know? Which one do you want to do next?
There's Caden. Nirvana. Let's do Nirvana.
Okay, because like, I don't know much of Nirvana, so I'm gonna let you take this one.
Okay, Nirvana. They're good. I honestly think they're good. I'm really upset that Kurt Cobain had to grab his favorite shotgun and it. But they've got a lot of classic songs. I know that Batman used one of their
Really?
songs.
I didn't know that.
Something in the Way they used.
Oh, that one.
That's Nirvana, yeah. I'm, in my opinion, like they're good. They're pretty good, but I don't think they're better than the Beatles or Journey or.
I don't think they're on par with AC/DC.
I'm gonna say B. Like
B
they're
tier's-
really good, but I'll put them in B.
B tier is justified. Okay.
Yeah. Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd. I mean, again, I don't listen to much Pink Floyd, but
So you're
everyone knows Another Brick in the Wall.
So you're gonna
Great
give
song.
this one to me.
Yeah.
Pink Floyd. They were massive in like the 60s and 70s. Like the Beatles, probably not as big.
I thought they started in the 70s or like late 60s, early 70s.
Probably around like the Beatles, around the Beatles time.
Yeah, they started.
So they were big. I don't know. I wouldn't say they were as big as the Beatles, but I feel like everyone
They
kind of
tried to do like
has
a
heard
Rolling
of.
Stones thing, because like the Beatles were more like, oh, love song, but like the Rolling Stones were like, let's talk about
Pink
other
Floyd.
things.
It's hard to pinpoint like what genre or topic they.
Like everyone knows the shirt,
do.
the Dark Side of the Moon shirt. Everyone's got that.
Dark Side of the Moon.
The Prism and the
Best album.
Rainbow. Where do you want to put that one?
With how big they are, I'll put them in. A.
Okay.
Scorpions.
Scorpions.
Scorpions. It's really small, but it says Scorpions.
Yeah, it's a Scorpions. Scorpions is one of those guys from Europe. You know, it's like 5 dudes. They like, for their first couple of like albums, they did not know a lick of English. They would sing to you in English. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. All they knew was German for so long. And they're just like, oh yeah, rock you like a hurricane, whatever the frick that means.
Whatever this means. We've heard it said once. Let's use it in a song. So where are we putting Leonard? Where are we putting Scorpions?
We're gonna put them B tier, I think.
B tier.
Cause like not everyone knows Scorpions. They have some really good songs like No One Like You, Rock You Like a Hurricane, Big City Nights. Great songs. But yeah, I don't think many people like, oh yeah, that's Scorpions. Unless you're like really into Scorpions. Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses.
One of the big heavy hitters, you know? They have, Axl Rose, Slash. These guys, like, you look at them like, oh yeah, I know those guys. That's Guns N' Roses. You know? They have Welcome to the Jungle, Paradise City.
Sweet Child of Mine,
Of course,
November Rain.
Classic.
They've got a lot of good ones, but I also feel like some of their songs are way overplayed.
Oh yes, of course.
100% Sweet Child of Mine.
Yeah,
It's
they
like the
freaking they
most
just throw it
overplayed.
at you in Thor. Like they just grabbed like the freaking
Or any jungle movie,
Any
they have to
jungle
play
movie.
Welcome to the Jungle. I'm like, dude, as good of a song as it is, can we not?
Stop. Get some help.
Exactly.
I'm gonna give it B tier just because they're a little overplayed.
But they're good.
I mean, if they weren't as overplayed, I'd probably give them A tier. But, yeah.
Europe.
Europe. Okay, it's like so. Europe is one of those guys like these bands. They're a Scandinavian band. I think they're from Norway.
It says
or no,
Europe.
I think no, they may be Swedish. I think they're Swedish.
Liars. They said Europe and they're from Sweden.
Sweden's in Europe.
Oh, right. I don't know
Take
my
a geography
geography, guys.
Well, like they didn't have like any like massive hits until like one of their last albums. The album Final Countdown. They have yeah, everyone loves that song. It was my childhood song. I would
Yeah.
listen to that on repeat.
Yeah, I feel like we'd all listen to that song.
Yeah. Like, I watch them on like Dragon Ball AMVs.
Dude, when I was a little kid, that was like my song that had to play for me to be inspired to do anything.
Yeah, my dad would be like, "Oh, this is good music," and I'm just like, "Nope," playing the same
That
song
was me
over
with
and over
all
again.
of actually that was me with my dad. He'd play some rock and heavy metal. At the time when I was little, I'm like, this is annoying. Turn it off. I hate it. And now here I am to where I'm playing it with him, jamming out. Having the best
Like
time.
Europe has like the Final Countdown, of course. They have Rock the Night, Cherokee, all off the same album, and then like their other stuff is pretty good, but it didn't like give them like the top 10 hit. Like this one song, what's it called? Fuck, oh, shit.
Okay, where are we putting them?
I think I'm giving B tier or C tier because they're not as well known.
See?
Yeah, it hurts me, but I have to.
Sorry, I had to zoom in to see what that said. I now need to zoom in again to see what band this is.
It's Aerosmith.
Aerosmith, okay.
Alright, so Aerosmith, they have Walk This Way, Dream On, which was off their first album.
Dream on, dream on.
They had a classic. Dream On! Right on the they had a classic right on the head off their first album. People were like, how do you do that? And I was like, They just did what they did. They were still trying to find their sound, so it doesn't sound like any of their more recent stuff.
That's a lot of these bands. Like, a lot of their older stuff. Like, oh, it's really good. And I'm like, they weren't even ready. They were just practicing at that point.
I'll give
They were testing the waters.
I'll give them B tier. Just
B
because
tier.
people know them.
Okay, last but not least, we have Twisted Sister.
They have
Twisted Sister.
like the way they wrote I think their best album. Dee Snider, he was home alone with his baby, and his wife had to go to get groceries, right? And he's like, I'm alone with the sleeping kid. What am I gonna do? Pulls out his song title list, and he writes the majority of their album just in like those 20-30 minutes. And
You
they
said
had-
right like it was relatable. Like, go get groceries, right?
right. Yeah, but like they had I Wanna Rock. Everyone knows that one.
I wanna rock.
And then they have We're Not Gonna Take It, which became
No, we're not gonna take it.
it became an anthem for the war in Ukraine. Like they're like, oh, we're not gonna take the Russians, yeah. So he played a show in Ukraine, like with the boys, and so many people showed up, and like they all sang along. It was great. So I want to give them B tier because like not many people know them, but like their impact is insane. It's interesting.
Well, that's all we have.
All right, that's
We
that's
couldn't think of any other bands.
That's a tier list. We didn't have room for many other bands. So thank you.
Next time we'll do a solo artist thing.
Yeah.
So how far that goes.
All right.
This has
Like and
been-
subscribe, please.
Like and subscribe. You don't like and subscribe, you're an idiot.
Because this is great content. I promise.
It's great content.
Thank you for
and
watching.
those other two guys on a couch, they can go. Can't say that.